Today we're going to be debating on My Hero Academia versus Haikyuu. But now this final round, this championship round, is going to be the sum of all of its parts. The story, the characters and their quality, the action, and the emotional component. Crispin, how do you feel about this matchup here? When it comes to the story, what's your vote? Is it My Hero or is it Haikyuu?
I wouldn't say that My Hero deviates from their story. I would say there's more complex points in their story. That's where I'm going with My Hero.
Depression, just go look at Deku. If you're looking at suffering, you love Spider-Man, Deku.
Is My Hero winning this fight or is it Haikyuu?
So it's going to be a shocker when I say this, but I'm going to go with.
Welcome to the finals. What's going on, people? It's your boy Mackie OMO. I'm here with my good brothers. We got the Razor Sharp Assassin and the Clipper and Johnny B. We also got the Black Kage, the Hokage, aka Salt and Pepper and Crispin. And we got Budman Forward, Budman Pull Up, Budman Akatsuki, Budman Pull Up, Budman Shawnee, Budman Pull Up, Budman Shawnee in the building. And we are the Nerdy by Nature boys.
Oh, Jesus.
Nobody saw that. Anyway, so I'm going to pass it off to John. We are in the finals, ladies and gentlemen. So, John, please let us know what we're finally.
We are absolutely in the finals, right? So we are in the finals. This is the last video in our series for Anime March Madness 2024, brought to you by Nerdy by Nature. And this is a very, very, very intense battle where our crew today is going to be debating in 4 categories, right? So we have these 2 animes that have made it all the way through all of these rounds. The past 4 rounds, it's been very, very interesting to see these 2 anime make their way up to the top here. But today we're going to be debating on My Hero Academia versus Haikyuu. So these 2 anime are going to be judged based on the following categories, which we've already talked about in our previous videos. But now this final round, this championship round, is going to be the sum of all of its parts. So this matchup is going to involve the story, the characters and their quality, the action, and the emotional component. So we have 4 big major things that usually draw an audience into an anime and keep the viewers there locked in. And we're going to approach this final round just a little bit differently than we might have in previous rounds, where before we might have gone around the room and each casted a vote. Everybody except for me, obviously, casting a vote to choose a winner, there being an odd number, so it's easy to have a definitive winner. But instead of doing that for this round, we're going to use a point system, and for each vote that anime gets in that category, they will count as a point, and by the end of all 4 categories, we will tally those points and see which anime has accumulated the most points from all of those categories, and that anime will be crowned the winner of Anime March Madness 2024. So, with all of that being said, we are going to now revisit our category from round 1, and we are talking about story. We are talking about
round 1.
Well, we're looking at round 1, but I'm saying we're going back to round 1.
Category.
Category wise.
You're here.
We are there. Yeah. So we are back. We're in the championship round. So the first round here is going to be about story. So I want you guys real quick. Well, maybe not that quick, but quick enough. What do you guys say when it comes to story? Shawnee, let me know. What do we got between Haikyuu and My Hero Academia? Who's got the story component down packed?
Think I would give it to My Hero. I love Haikyuu story. They both have underdog stories. I think for me it's just that Haikyuu's story only goes up to a certain point as far as him being the best as a volleyball player. I don't think it can really branch out a bit beyond that. Like the whole concept is just consistently winning and trying to get to the top to get to the champions and whatnot. Whereas My Hero begins as Deku's trying to become the biggest hero in the world, but there's a lot of like twists and turns that deviate that path and a lot of shit that happens to get him there. So it's kind of in my opinion, I give it to My Hero. It's kind of unfair just just because of the scope of how broad it can go, how the story goes here, it can branch out. Versus Haikyuu is a very consistent story across the board. That can also be used against me negatively to prove a point for the other guys to say that Haikyuu is a better story because it is consistent, it's straight to the point, and it doesn't have a whole bunch of filler and all this extra shit that doesn't need to be there. But I'll pick My Hero for this one.
Okay. Crispin, how do you feel about this matchup here? When it comes to the story, what's your vote? Is it My Hero or is it Haikyuu?
I wouldn't say that My Hero deviates from their story. I would say there's more complex points in their story, which makes the story a little bit more interesting, right? Haikyuu does have a pretty straightforward story when you think about it as a shonen anime, right? He's gonna become the best. He's gonna be the champion, but it really doesn't go like that at the end. It deviates at the end. It goes. He actually loses, and they never win the championship. Obviously, you guys haven't gotten there because that's manga. That's why I'm not gonna count that. That's why I'm going with My Hero. If everything was animated, I would have gone Haikyuu all the way because the story, once it gets animated, it's totally different. Like this nigga doesn't even win the championship. Has to go to Brazil to play volleyball, beach volleyball, to learn how to play more volleyball. It's a whole bunch of bullshit.
So you're going with My Hero?
I'm going My Hero. Yeah, I'm going My Hero.
My Hero in this round.
Yeah, there's no argument on that one.
Got you. I understand. Mackie, how do you feel about this matchup when it comes to story? Is it My Hero or is it Haikyuu? Which has the better story?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, so sorry, I'm good. I'm good now. It's gonna be My Hero for me as well. My Hero is just more of a complete story. There are My Heroes, and this is probably gonna give it to them for the next point too, but My Hero, within the story, their characters, even the side characters, even if they're on the screen for like 50 seconds or have a quick like, how do I say this, have like a quick little spats or whatever you want to call it, like a quick little time in the middle of story, like what happened with, I can never remember her name, the bunny hero. Yeah, Mirko. Yeah, she was literally in the story for 5 seconds. Yet when we went to Anime NYC, we saw mad girls dressed up as her. So I think just off of like, yeah, the story in My Hero is a lot better. I just recently rewatched Haikyuu and I fell in love with it again. But My Hero is there's not too many animes that are gonna beat My Hero when it comes to like just a complete overall story. If you're looking for stakes, we just now recently had some stakes.
I like
for. Thank you. If you're looking for plot, there's a big bad enemy that they're trying to kill. If you're looking for What is it called? Depression. Just go look at Deku. If you're looking at suffering, you love Spider-Man, Deku. If you're looking for enraged town people about what's going on, and how it's affecting them and they're affecting their lives, My Hero. If you're looking for, like, I would even say My Hero is like a mini One Piece, and it's gonna sound crazy, but like they tackle a lot of real world problems without really saying it, but like it's there.
Yeah.
Like they had drug use. That was like really big, and I forgot which season, but they were talking
Season
about
3.
people using drugs. They even do it in, I know it's manga,
Yeah.
but in vigilantes, it's like really prevalent in vigilantes. But in My Hero, the drug problem did show up there as well. If you're looking for like kidnappings, Bakugo. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with My Hero. My Hero is definitely the better story. Sorry,
Okay.
Haiku. Haiku, you should be just happy you got here. I can't lie to you.
Oh man.
I can't lie to you.
But the next category is going to be really interesting for you guys. Crispin, I want you to start this conversation for us. Which anime has the better set of characters? Is it Haikyuu or is it My Hero Academia?
You guys might hate me because of this shit, but I'm gonna say Haikyuu, and I'm gonna explain why. I think the characters themselves connect better in Haikyuu than they do in My Hero Academia, and I'm gonna explain myself. We have class, the second class from the same school that the main character class is, right? Those two really don't connect like that. Like they connect like in one episode, maybe 3, disconnect and then come back. The Haikyuu, like other teams, when they train together, when they are going against each other, they have a grudge with this team for the whole season until they see this team. Like, I don't care about this team, I'm looking for that team type shit. And they learn from the other teams as well, and from how the other teams play. And the characters relate to, no, I have to beat this guy, because if I don't beat this guy, my team might lose, because that's my responsibility. This guy is my responsibility. I think they have more of a interconnected cast of characters with the main characters, which is the whole main team, and the coach and other coaches, with past coaches and past teammates and all that. Like, it's interconnected way better than My Hero. That's what I think. When it comes to the collection of characters, there's a way more characters in My Hero, but they're not all interconnected. That's my argument with Haikyuu. So I'm going Haikyuu.
Okay. So we got one for Haikyuu when it comes to character. Mackie, who do you think is winning the character battle between My Hero Academia and Haikyuu?
It's for characters, it's definitely My Hero Academia. My Hero, the cast of characters in My Hero are a little bit more developed than Haikyuu. Haikyuu, while yes, we understand that these players intertwine with each other very well, like the cast is good together. There's not too much backstory on, as in the anime, on particular characters that we would like to know more on. Like, we only got one flashback of the coach playing in the high school that he went to. We only got one. We don't know nothing about the tiny giant. Like, he's literally like fucking Joy Boy in this bitch. We know nothing about him. He's very important because he's the reason why the main character is playing hockey. He's very important.
That's just an inspiration. They don't talk
No,
about
no,
him.
no. He's very important to the story. And I know I'm contradicting myself by saying that because we don't know a lot about a lot of characters in One Piece, but we're not talking about One Piece today. So, but yeah, for me, it's just My Hero. I think that we know a lot more. The characters are more developed. Like, bro, we had a literal a whole season or a whole half a season where they were giving us backstories on all the villains in My Hero.
Yeah, but that's just the what we had the backstory of all the volleyball teams from the other teams too.
What's
What
a
are you
back?
talking
Not
about?
bro. A flashback and a backstory are two
No
different.
backstories. When this nigga was training with Todoroki in the same team, the nigga from the blue and white team, the Royal King or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
The
those
other
are, bro,
setter.
those are the two main characters. Wait,
No,
who?
no,
The other
no. I'm
one?
not talking. Then the
Okay,
other
okay,
team.
that's okay. I know what you're talking about.
And
Okay,
then
that's
the
two.
nigga that played with him, the Mad Dog nigga, we had a backstory for. We had a backstory for the
Bro, they
main-
didn't, bro. That's not a backstory. A
Yes,
backstory
it
is like,
is.
no, bro. All they told us is the nigga used to what
He
did
used to go
he
play
went
with
to
college
juvie or some
niggas.
shit like that.
No, he used to play with college niggas because he had an attitude. He didn't want to play with the high school team. That's why he wasn't in the high school team the first game. They're explaining why things are happening the way that they're happening there. That's called a backstory. They're telling the story that happened before to tell the story that's happening now. That's a backstory. They're not gonna tell you he was 5 playing volleyball like they did with the two twin setters. That's a backstory. They told you about the bald nigga that had the girlfriend that they played together. That's another backstory. Don't say they didn't do backstory, my nigga. Come on, man.
Okay, so that their backstories are better then. I'll say that then.
Whose backstory?
My Hero. They have better backstories for
Why?
the characters.
What was their better?
I don't think there's a backstory in Haikyuu that's better than like what do you call it? What the fuck is her name? The girl that be drinking the blood. Her, I don't remember her name. But her backstory is
Toga, Himiko Toga.
Toga. Her backstory is crazy. That shit is crazy. She was literally the.
Sure. Sure.
He said.
I picked.
Sure, I just said sure.
I picked mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shawnee, when it comes to the characters, is My Hero winning this fight or is it Haikyuu?
So it's gonna be a shocker when I say this, but I'm gonna go with Haikyuu on this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Haikyuu specifically off of what Crispine said. Is the fact that Haikyuu's characters are more intertwined to the main character, and you actually know more about the cast. I feel like when it comes to My Hero, I always go back to the same thing. Quantity does not equal quality. We have many students.
Characters, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters in class 1A, and even 7 seasons now, because we're talking about the anime, we still don't know a lot about all of the characters, let alone their backstories. Even just like Invisible Girl, we know nothing about Invisible Girl at this current point in time. There are other characters that do get read manga, so there's a lot of characters that do get explored, and even I don't even think she's gonna get explored in season 7. And we've had her, and she's been a reoccurring character since the beginning. We've had characters in 1B get a whole backstory prior to that. Just looking at Shinzo, we've had the villains get backstories. We've had some of the heroes get backstories. We had mad heroes outside of the class that we don't even know shit about. Some of them got killed off before we could even find out much more beyond it. I would argue if Midnight's death in My Hero didn't hit as hard. Well, when I read it in the manga, it didn't hit as hard to me as I felt it would. The anime made it a little bit better because of how they kind of showed the emotions. But I feel like we didn't even get a backstory on Midnight to feel the impact of it. So it's like you have great characters, but the execution isn't great. And the thing about it is that they broke the rule of anime. If you see a character that gets a backstory in the fight they're currently in, it's a 9 out of 10 chance they're gonna die. And we didn't even get a backstory on Midnight. She got off screened at that. So again, I love My Hero. I love the cast of characters, but but because we're in the final round, I have to be critical in that aspect. You can't have your main character have his class of characters and not know shit about some of them, even up to this point in time. Compared to Haikyuu, where at least you know where you are in the story, you know as much as you can about all of his cast and all of his team. So I'm gonna pick Haikyuu on this one.
Gotcha. Okay, we're going into a new category now. So now we're going to debate on the action. So these are two very different stories here. One is like a shonen battle anime, and then the other one is a sports / competition based story here. So the action is going to be told in very different ways. But action doesn't mean like which one is more bombastic than the other one. Action here is just the quality of how that action is portrayed to the viewer. And if you are really immersed in that action when it is happening. So when we are debating the fighting scenes in My Hero versus the competitions in Haikyuu, who's winning this matchup, Maggie?
My pick is Haikyuu. Again, the games, even the practices that they had, the practice matches that they had against all those schools when they went for that summer training camp for I think it was like 2 weeks. That shit was very emotional. Seeing even what's his name, Tsukishima's best friend, him getting like
we're in action. We're not in emotion.
See, that's what I'm saying. A lot of the action is tied with the emotion. That was my issue. I didn't want to give reasons because my reasons for it winning in action would also give the reason for it to win in emotion.
That's fine.
It's fine. Just this one.
That's fine. All right. So, damn, I'm sorry. I'm so.
Let's say you win Haikyuu, and
it's okay if you can't articulate it the best way.
I can't really articulate it, because
it's fine.
Yeah, it's just
your choice. That's just how you feeling right now. He's going with Haikyuu, guys. Now, Shawnee, I know that action is a really big part of both of these stories, but I need you to pick one definitively and tell us who's got the better action. Is it My Hero Academia or is it Haikyuu?
It's tough because I feel like Haikyuu's, like, as a volleyball player, like, I don't play a lot of sports. I literally just play volleyball. That's like my bread and butter. I play that shit recreationally even now. So seeing the scenes in Haikyuu is intense because it's like watching basketball, watching football, where you actually know what's going on, and you know, like, oh my god, like you know the feeling of getting that block, you know the feeling of getting that spike, you know the feeling of getting that dig when somebody like rocks it or they try to pull a dink and you see the save, or you see like a good rally go back and forth. So like understanding that concept for me, because I'm not a big sports person, it makes you feel all the feels. So I enjoy those scenes. But I also look at something as My Hero, where the fight, like sometimes the fights are just amazing. Not every fight is great, but just those tiny little detail moments where Deku unlocks the Black Whip, or Shinzo gets his redemption because he's always felt coming into the aspect of it that he is like an outcast of a villain. Everybody's like, you have mind control, you're going to be a villain off rip, and he finally gets the hero moment, you know. Even again, All Might versus All for One, like that final fight alone, Kirishima versus I forgot my man, the Bullet Punch dude, that was an intense fight for me. So I feel like because of the fact that I'm so conflicted, I'm just gonna go with My Hero on this one. For me, there's no wrong answer. Either one of them, there's no bad answer here. You just have to pick which one you inch more, and I'm just gonna inch more on My Hero.
My Hero. Gotcha. Thank you for that, Shawnee. Crispin. We're talking about action, and we're comparing My Hero Academia and Haikyuu. Who do you think is winning this battle when it comes to the action?
Like we all said, this is a tough one because they're both good in action. Obviously, they won their action battle, both of them, obviously. If not, they wouldn't be here in the finals. But that being said, I'm going to go with Haikyuu because when you see the actual volleyball play, like the movements, the saves, the passes, the hits, the blocks, the coaching, all of that, like all those moves, like when I was in the high school varsity team and I was playing, you move that way. You actually do those things. Obviously in anime they exaggerate a little bit because they have to entertain you a little bit more. But like
accurate.
It's actually like that. Like you pass the ball like that, you set like that, you hit like that. Like all of that things happen. Obviously, there's some things like you can't set and the ball stops and it falls. That doesn't happen. Like it really does not happen. But in a lot of instances, things like that really happen. Like people serve really high, people serve floaters, people serve jump serves, people like all jump floats. All of this is true, and I think that really connected the action of the actual anime with the real volleyball, which makes it super legit, which makes it win for me.
Gotcha. So we got Haikyuu. Okay. So we're gonna go and transition into the last category now. And we're going to be debating on which of these animes is stronger in its emotional department. So Shawnee, who do you think is more emotional here? Is it My Hero Academia or is it Haikyuu?
Shawnee better say first.
Yes, he's going first. He's going first for a reason.
I'm still recovering from my last speech.
Nope, you're going first for a reason.
Oh my god! All right, man. It's a tough one. There's no wrong answers here. From the emotional aspect of it, as a volleyball player, I feel all the feels. I feel the feeling of getting that fire spike. I feel the feel of getting that amazing block. The dig, like somebody spiking and digging and getting a clean dig off of their spike. I get like a second wind of life off of that shit. Like, yeah, hit me. Like I got this. Like, or if that ball is about to go, if some of my teammate knocking is about to go, I'm diving for that shit. Like, it's all intensity, it's all there. But at the same time, I watch the fights tomorrow. I watch the emotional moments in My Hero. And there's a lot of moments where I have cried and teared up. And like, I don't cry a lot, but just like anime is the one thing that does make me tear up, especially if they hit that emotional beat. And it'll just be those tiny little moments. Eri smiling for the first time in the school festival. Deku winning his first fight. All Might finishing off all for one before he had to get bopped. Like, you know, the Todoroki family, how sad that shit was. Like, yeah. It's hard, but again, for the sake of it being critical, the sake of the conversation, and I'm gonna throw my little favoritism in there. I'm contradicting myself. I'm gonna go with My Hero on this one, but there's no wrong answer here at all. There's no wrong answer whatsoever.
Very, very good, very strong arguments, Shawnee. Thank you, Mac. How do you feel about this emotional battle between My Hero Academia and Haikyuu? Who's winning this one?
Ooh, two heavy hitters. When it comes to emotions, both of these anime have it. But I'm gonna have to go with My Hero Academia. I think the highest, even though I rate Tsukishima's emotional moment as probably one of the most emotional moments I've seen in anime.
Nice.
That's really emotional.
Right there, yeah. Gotta love the sounds of the city.
Even though I rate that emotional scene as one of probably most like goosebump moments in anime, right above it is when All Might pointed at the screen and pointed at my nigga Deku. That shit was
You're next.
Feels, my nigga, feels. Or in the My Hero movie, I think it was the most recent one that dropped when Deku started throwing that nigga, throwing 1,000 hands at that nigga. I was in the movie theater the weekend it came out. The movie theater erupted. That shit went fucking crazy. At the end of the movie, that shit went insane. It was nuts. Myself, I was screaming. So yeah, My Hero.
Gotcha. My Hero's got the point from Mac. Crispin, this is the last talking point, and we're battling emotion between My Hero and Haikyuu. Who is winning the emotional battle? Tell the audience.
I'm staying with Haikyuu, bro. I'm staying with Haikyuu because I relate to it more, and that gives me more emotions. I know that all my shit was hype. I know the movie shit was hype. All that shit was hype. But that's what it was, hype. Like I was telling y'all, like I literally was telling y'all what was happening in the show before, like in the last episode, and I was getting goosebumps just remembering what happened, because when I remember and I tell the stories that happened to me when I was playing volleyball, that I got emotional for. I had a block like Sugashima with the highest nigga from St. Peter's Prep. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit happened to me. I blocked
St. Peter's, God.
I blocked the third nigga in the state, the third best hitter in the state from Cherry Hill. Like, those things actually happened to me, and that shit had me hyped up. I was a nigga that played 1 year volleyball, senior year only. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why those things relate to me way more, and I'm going emotional with IQ.
Okay. Very solid argument, Crispin. I appreciate your insights. I have the winner. I have the tallies already calculated and up here. Would anybody like to say any last comments?
I don't know. What did Shawnee pick for emotion? What did you pick, Shawnee? My hero?
I picked My Hero, yeah.
Okay. My Hero won.
Well, we don't know, because there was a
No,
lot.
we definitely know.
We know.
So-
My Hero got 3 points
Oh,
in
I
the
don't know.
beginning, 1 point in the second, 2
So
points in the third.
here's how this broke down. With a total of 7 points, My Hero beat Haikyuu that had a total of 5 points.
It was close.
That's still pretty close.
It was
That was
very
close.
very
And that-
close.
And that could have easily been a toss-up. Because Crispin's points, like, I could have flipped my emotional standpoint, and it still would have been close.
It would have been a tie.
It would have been a tie. My Hero could have easily lost here.
My Hero
Yeah.
could have won,
I-
to be honest.
Yeah.
So
I think Haikyuu still had a chance, yeah.
I mean, Haikyuu could have won, to be honest.
this,
'Cause-
this definitely was a lot closer than
Than you
I
thought?
think a lot of people would have expected.
I think that means that people should go and watch Haikyuu.
Yeah, I
If
think
you
that
haven't
was
watched
the point
it.
of this series, was that you guys definitely want everyone to watch Haikyuu.
I mean, Haikyuu, to be honest, is whoever it was against with, because it's a difficult anime to beat in those categories that we picked. Very difficult to beat. You have to be really good. Like, if Haikyuu would have been with My Hero in the first category, that shit would have been gone, because the story that would have been beat.
That's what I was saying from the beginning. Haikyuu got to the final just because of who it was matched
Who it
up.
went up against.
Yeah.
If not, that shit would have been
Because if it would have met Full Metal Alchemist, if it met
Attack on Titan, like,
Attack on Titan,
any-
Jujutsu Kaisen, a lot of
Would've been
those
gone.
would have taken it out in the. I don't know about.
It was story.
Well, yeah,
the
no,
one that-
it's-
story is the one that he was gonna lose in if it met one of those guys, because they could fight.
Oh,
in-
for sure,
in
for
any-
sure. Again, we did not rig this.
Hey,
We
Shout out
literally.
My Hero. Shout out My Hero.
Let me get the.
Definitely didn't rig it. Now I just kind of want to make a few comments, right? Because I did not get a chance to vote, because I personally have not watched a majority of the anime that was being debated during Anime March Madness 2024, brought to you by Nerdy by Nature. And so I didn't get a chance to see a lot of this stuff, so my input kind of would have been really redundant for me to be commenting on things that I know nothing about. So this was really interesting to just see the diversity in the types of animes and the types of stories that were being debated on, and which kind of stories got a chance to actually like go up against each other. I really don't see a lot of other creators or a lot of people arguing to anime like Haikyuu and My Hero Academia. Like, I've never heard these two ever kind of mentioned in the same breath ever. So this is really different and very interesting, and I hope you guys out there, the audience listening and watching on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed, you should. I hope that you guys have really gotten a chance to enjoy our opinions, right, about these animes that we've watched and consumed, but just an opportunity to see how much story and how much anime content is really out there, and how good a lot of this stuff is. And while this might be fun and just full of our own opinions, there's a lot of stuff to catch up on. So if you're like me and you haven't seen a lot of this stuff, I've heard so many great reasons to start watching some of these anime. Like, I haven't even told the crew yet, but just because of some of the arguments that were made during Anime March Madness 2024, brought to you by Nerdy by Nature, I started watching. I started watching Fire Force in the mornings before going to work, and I'm kind of digging Fire Force. So there's
Fire Force is fire.
there's definitely literally
Fire Force is fire. I'm not gonna lie.
So there's
That's just it had no luck, bro.
so there's definitely a lot of gems in this list, and we know that maybe your favorite anime wasn't on this list. Maybe you really like Bleach, maybe you really like Naruto. You really like One Piece like we do. You're a big Dragon Ball fan like I am. Like we get it. The big three, Dragon Ball, really special to a lot of us, and we're just tired of comparing them. We're just tired of, putting them up against each other. Those arguments, we've heard all those arguments. I've never heard Haikyuu versus My Hero Academia before in my life. So I hope that this experience was as
next year we have to add these niggas
as it was for me.
Kuroko no Basket.
Blue Lock, yeah.
No, it's Kuroko no Basket.
Oh shit! I saw the blue.
So there you have it. Our winner is officially My Hero Academia. A round of applause for Deku and Bakugo and Todoroki.
And
Endeavor.
Shigaraki.
Eraserhead. Everybody. Shout outs to you guys. There's a long list of characters over there.
A whole bunch of niggas
over there. Congratulations to My Hero Academia and all the My Hero fans out there watching.
Put the My Hero emoji downstairs in the fucking comments. You know what I'm saying?
All that. Well, I didn't know there was a My Hero emoji.
You could have. They probably have it from somebody else. If they have like a subscription for somebody else, yeah, they give them stickers.
No, I was gonna say like the stickers. But yeah, so that's it. We're done. Anime March Madness 2024, brought to you by Nerdy by Nature, is officially donezies. We have our champion. We have our winner. We had an awful lot of fun putting this together for you guys. And I hope you guys really let us know if you want us to do this again. We can revisit this next year and maybe change the list around a lot of it and have some new things to debate, some new animes to debate, maybe some new stuff that
My Hero has to be in
might really like. Maybe some new animes that haven't come out yet that we might be interested next year. Maybe some Kaiju number 8. I don't know. Something new might be out there, and we'll be able to talk about those shows next year. So thanks for joining us.
Some of these shows are still going, so they might actually change in their.
That is a good point. Some of them might still stick around and might lose in the next
absolutely.
Might lose again. Fuck is you talking about?
So we'll catch you guys on another piece of content when we have another great idea for an awesome series like this one.
Peace out.
Later.
What's going on, Nerdy fam? We want to thank you for watching our video today. We appreciate all the love and support and the views that we get. If you want us to talk about a specific thing, let us know in the comments below. You can follow us on our YouTube at Nerdy by Nature TV. What else we got going on? We got the Spotify and Apple podcast, the Nerdy by Nature podcast. If you don't have time to watch the videos, you can listen to it on the go, on your run, working out, X, Y, and Z. You know how it goes. And then, we got our social handles. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Nerdy by Nature TV. That's at Nerdy by Nature TV, all in one word. You know how it goes. Keep it nerdy. We love you, and goodbye.